1,000-pound sisters, signs Chris Combs' ego is out of control. Are his growing fame weight loss journey changing him? Chris Combs has become a big reality television star since appearing on 1,000-pound sisters. The beloved unscripted series premiered in 2020, and Chris has been there from the beginning. And all the fame could be going to his head. The show is technically about his sisters, 38-year-old Tammy Sladen and 37-year-old Amy Sladen, but 44-year-old Chris has been by their sides their whole lives. Though they didn't all grow up in the same house, the Sladen siblings are extremely close as adults. And their unique family dynamic is one of the best things about the show. The show gets its provocative title from the fact that Tammy and Amy weighed a combined 1,000 pounds when 1,000-pound sisters premiered, but Chris was also struggling with his weight. Inspired by his famous sisters, he embarked on his own weight loss journey. His own father had died when he was around Chris's age, due to being overweight, and Chris didn't want to die the same way. Chris had bariatric surgery, lost a significant amount of weight, and changed his life completely. He has also become a fan favorite, and his newfound fame may be changing him. Chris Combs could be chasing clout online. He posts more than he used to, while Tammy and Amy have always been extremely active online. Recently, Chris has been posting about his work on Cameo. Chris never really posted much until recently. Cameo is a service where celebrities record messages for fans, and Chris is one of the celebrities available on the site. Chris also posted about a career change when he announced he'd be attending the National Corvette Museum convention. Reality television stars often attend conventions, and can make money that way too, but Chris hadn't done so until recently. According to the post, this would be Chris's first convention appearance. It's unclear why the National Corvette Museum would want Chris to appear at their convention, but it's great that he'll be there. The posted flyer features a photo of Chris decked out in his Western wear, and another photo of Chris and his wife, 36-year-old Brittany Combs, posing together. This could mean that Brittany will join him at the event. Now that Chris is getting more screen time on 1,000-pound sisters, he'll probably receive lots more invitations, and this might impact his ego. Chris Combs' dramatic body makeover has given him confidence and incredible transformation. Chris weighed over 450 pounds when he made his 1,000-pound sisters debut in 2020. Watching his famous sisters achieve incredible weight loss milestones convinced Chris that he could do the same. After having bariatric surgery in 2022, Chris lost 150 pounds and weighed 300 pounds at his last weigh-in. Eric Smith posted an amazing before and after of Chris on Instagram in March. His physician, Drive. On one side is a photo of Chris before he lost weight, and on the right is a recent photo of Chris finishing a 5K run. When Chris stepped on a scale during the recent weigh-in, he was devastated to learn that he had plateaued. During 1,000-pound sisters season 6, the Sladens went to see their doctor for a family weigh-in. Chris wasn't looking forward to the exam, because he knew he hadn't lost as much weight as he wanted to. When he stepped on the scale, it read that Chris weighed 299 pounds, so he had only lost 1 pound since his last weigh-in. Though Chris had lost an incredible 150 pounds after embarking on his weight loss journey, he was devastated by the setback, and was determined to get back on track. Like several of his other siblings, Chris is desperate to remove all the excess skin left behind due to his rapid weight loss. Aside from how it looks, it creates unique hygiene challenges. With so much skin, it's hard to keep it dry, and it's more prone to infections. Chris suffered from such an infection at one point, and it nearly set him back in his journey. Chris was devastated when his doctor said he wanted Chris to lose another 60 pounds first. In the end, Chris was able to lose weight, and was approved to begin skin removal surgery. Chris may be a little smug about his ideal family life. He's happily married. The Slaytons have had complicated love lives, and Chris is no exception. He was married once, long before he joined the cast of 1,000-Pound Sisters. Little is known about his first wife, except for the fact that Chris had 2 children with her, and now has 3 grandchildren. While his first marriage ended badly, his second marriage appears to be a very happy union. Chris fell in love with Brittany while they were both managers at McDonald's, and they're now happily married. Chris recently moved Tammy into the house next door, and it could cause problems with his wife. Chris wasn't that nice to Amy Sladden when she lived with mental illness. He's less patient than he used to be. Chris used to be far more patient with his siblings. But fame and weight loss changed the 1,000-Pound Sisters star over the years. As the only brother of 4 sisters, Chris often has his hands full dealing with extensive Sladden family drama. Things were especially difficult when Amy was divorcing Michael Halterman. She was more emotional than usual, and was struggling with her mental health. Tammy was also angry at Chris, accusing him of being around less often since she got back from weight loss rehabilitation. Though Chris still loves his family dearly, his newfound fame is bringing out new sides of his personality. One of the reasons that 1,000-Pound Sisters star Chris is so likable is the fact that he has such a great attitude. He was positive even in the face of enormous negativity. Since Chris has achieved success in life, he may expect more from his family. 1,000-Pound Sisters, is Brittany Combs butting heads with Chris Combs' siblings? It could mean trouble for their marriage. 1,000-Pound Sisters Season 6 found Brittany Combs clashing with Chris Combs' siblings far more than she used to, which could mean trouble for their marriage. The show focuses on the lives and weight loss journeys of sisters Tammy Sladden and Amy Sladden. But several other family members are a big part of the story, including Chris and his wife. The Sladens are a close-knit clan, so they're always together, and they lean on each other. While it's easy to enjoy the show because of the extraordinary weight loss journeys of several cast members, the Sladens' family dynamic also entertains. While many of the Sladens haven't been lucky in love, Chris and Brittany appear to be perfectly content together. 36-year-old Brittany is 44-year-old Chris's second wife, but little is known about his first wife. The couple met at work, when they were both managers at McDonald's, and they've been happily married ever since. Brittany has always appeared on the show, alongside Chris, but she's been a more prominent figure during 1,000-Pound Sisters Season 6. While Brittany always tries to be there for the Sladens, she has recently butted heads with several of Chris's siblings. Amy's argument about the gym, it triggered the biggest fight of the season. The Sladens are a loud and boisterous bunch, so it's very easy for Brittany to disappear into the background when her in-laws are around. Despite her attempts to lie low, she inadvertently set off a massive fight between Tammy, Amy and 1,000-Pound Sisters Amanda Halterman. Since no good deed goes unpunished, he paid for it dearly. It all started when Chris tried to do a good deed. After a recent doctor's visit didn't go as well for all the Sladens as they'd hoped, Chris bought each of them a gym membership. When Brittany innocently suggested the siblings engage in a friendly competition to see who could lose more weight, Amy resisted. She said she didn't want a competition because it would be about winners and losers. Brittany pointed out that they'd all be winners, as long as they lost any weight at all. Amanda got involved in the fight, and Amy ended up storming out. The fight spilled over into an even bigger fight between Amanda and Tammy, who then left. The fight continued to reverberate throughout the rest of the season. Chris puts his marriage first, but his sisters need him too. Chris is a great brother and is always there for his sisters. As the patriarch of the family, his siblings depend on him, and he never lets them down. As his loyal wife, Brittany has always been by Chris's side, and has done her best to be there for the Slatons. 1,000-Pound Sisters Season 6 has pushed Chris and Brittany to their limit. The problem started when Tammy rented a house owned by Amanda. After living there for a while, Tammy grew disappointed with Amanda's refusal to make timely repairs. Tammy's home was robbed while she was away at weight loss rehab, and she's been displaced ever since. During 1,000-Pound Sisters Season 6, Tammy needed Chris to come over to put plastic film over a broken window. Tammy claimed that the window was broken by Amanda's sons, whom she says are always at her house, breaking things and eating all her food. Now, Amanda refused to fix the window that her sons had broken while horsing around, and Tammy's frustrations had reached a boiling point. Determined to move out of the house, Tammy gave Amanda her notice, but needed a place to live. Brittany doesn't want Tammy to move in. It's time for Tammy to stand on her own 2 feet. With Tammy needing help, Chris had to run to her rescue. He and Brittany had just purchased the house next door to their house, and he thought it would be the perfect solution to their problems. Instead of renting the house out to a stranger, Tammy could move in instead. He took Tammy to show her the property, and calling it a fixer-upper would be generous. The house was in serious disrepair, and needed a lot of work, but Chris promised Tammy he'd have it all repaired before she moved in. Tammy had to leave Amanda's house by the date they had agreed upon. Tammy expressed concern about the timing. Chris told her that if the house wasn't ready by then, Tammy could stay with him and Brittany for a while. Brittany gave him a look that said this was news to her. It was very obvious that Brittany didn't want Tammy to move in, but Tammy didn't want to move in either. The last thing Tammy wants to do is cause trouble for Chris and Brittany, but there's no question that she'd let Tammy move in if Chris asked. Brittany loves her in-laws. She's always there for the Slatons. The Slatons may be a handful, but it's obvious that Brittany loves her in-laws. They may not be easy to deal with, but they're loyal and are always there for each other. If Chris really needed Tammy to move in with them for a while, Brittany would probably agree to it, but it wouldn't be good for Chris's marriage. Tammy isn't always easy to get along with, and she probably wouldn't be an easy house guest either. When Chris made his television debut in 2020, he weighed over 400 pounds. With Brittany by his side, Chris had bariatric surgery on 1,000-Pound Sisters, and lost 150 pounds. While his weight loss has taken center stage, Brittany has quietly been on her own weight loss journey. Though it's unclear how much weight she's lost, she expressed interest in having weight loss surgery herself. And she was excited about the family's new group gym membership. Chris and Brittany will continue to lose weight together, but not if the other Slatons drive Brittany away.